All right, hey folks, we are on to composition part 2. We're going to start off by reviewing a little bit, and then we're going to discover what we are actually going to be doing for the assignment that we're going to have, the composition assignment. So let's get into it. So think back to part 1 of our composition lesson. We're focusing on a basic type of composition, which is the rhythmic composition. To do this, all we're going to be doing is adding rhythms to our measures and creating our own unique composition. We'll have a few rules to remember while composing, but remember, the rules aren't there to, make it so it's less fun or anything. They help us to compose because they limit some of the choices that we have so that we don't become overwhelmed. So we're going to start with a review of the rhythms that we're going to be allowed to use, and then we'll take a look at the process as well before we get on to the actual rules that we are going to be using. So, as you can see here, we've got 2 big red X's across some of those notes. We are not using those notes for our composition here, all right, friends? So, we're not using the whole note or the single eighth note. We are going to start reviewing here because we're going to be allowed to use the quarter note. So please remember, quarter notes are 1 beat long. This is going to be really important for composing because we're going to need to make sure that we remember the number of beats that each note gets, so that way when we start to compose, we don't have too many beats inside our measures. Okay? So that quarter note right there, you can see with the little orange arrow, that right there is our 1 beat. That's our quarter note. We're also going to be able to use the half note, which is that open circle right there, which receives 2 beats. Finally, on this page, you're going to be able to use a pair of eighth notes, which also receives 1 beat. Now remember, the eighth notes are 2 sounds, but they're only 1 beat. Okay? So when you're doing this, make sure that you are remembering about the time signature and everything that we learned about in the last lesson. Feel free to pause this video so you can look at these notes if you'd like to as well. That's what it's there for. It's a resource for you. You are welcome to use that right here. So, like I said, these are the notes that you're going to be allowed to use. In addition, we're also going to be using a quarter rest. Now, again, you see those 2 big red X's, and that means that we are not using our half or whole rests. We are just going to use that quarter rest, that 1 beat of silence. Okay? So, really make sure that you are paying attention to which notes and rests you are going to be able to use in this composition. And like I said, if you need to go back through and scrub through the video and pause this at the various times so you can get the notes and rests, please do. You're more than welcome to do that kind of stuff. All right, friends? So let's remember the process. So we remember how to construct the staff from last time, hopefully. We're going to add that time signature in. We're going to make sure that we're in 4/4. And we're going to make sure that each of our rhythms add up to 4. So we are going to make sure that each measure has 4 beats. So starting there, I put a half note in the measure, like we learned last time. That's our 2 beats long. We see that we still have 2 beats remaining inside of our measure. As I add the next beat to it, it will add an extra beat in there. So now 2 plus 1, we have 3 beats total. That means we have 1 beat remaining where we can actually put something else. If we chose to use our pair of eighth notes, they take up 1 beat for the 2 notes right there. So even though there are 2 notes, it's still only 4 beats because we've got 2 plus 1 plus 2 right there. Okay, folks? Now, as we went through and completed the remainder of our measures, we're only using those half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, and quarter rests. This is the same composition you saw in the earlier video that we talked about before. You are going to be working on trying to recreate something like this. Now remember, this is one possible combination. There are lots and lots and lots of different combinations that you can make with just those different rhythms that we're going to use. So you are going to be working on trying to create your own composition. So here are the rules for your composition. And again, please feel free to pause this here. And let me actually, over here, I'm going to move this out of the way right now. If it didn't move on the screen, that's fine. It's no big deal. My video was in the wrong place when I was originally recording, so I just moved myself out of the way here. So if you saw that, great. If not, that's what happened. So what we're going to do is we are going to use a program called NoteFlight. Now I have included a link to NoteFlight in your video or in your Otis lesson here. So it is going to be how you get there. You're going to click on the link, you're going to create a new score, and you're going to add a rhythm part. There are videos walking you through how to do each of these things. So please do not freak out right now thinking, oh, but Mr. Roulette, I've never used NoteFlight, I don't know how to do it. I will show you, I promise. Okay? So you're going to create 8 measures of rhythm using your quarter notes, half notes, pairs of eighth notes, and quarter rests, just like we looked at in previous slides. Like I said, if you need to go back through the video and you need to grab the little bar and move yourself around, do it, okay? Pause the video, write it down. I don't care how you do it. Screenshot it, whatever you need to do to be successful, okay, folks? So once you do that, you'll see in the NoteFlight video, you can give your composition a title. Please make sure it's school appropriate. We don't want anything silly or inappropriate being in there. If you just want to call it rhythm or rhythm composition, or you want to make up a name for it, that's fine. Just please make sure it is appropriate for school. Okay? You're going to also add your name as the composer because you are composing. You're the one who is going to be creating this. So you might as well put your name on there and show that you were the one who composed this. You were the author of that rhythm. And then finally, you're going to export your composition as a PDF and send it to me through your email. Okay? Again, there's a video showing you how to do that, so don't worry if you don't know how to do it right now. If you're like, but I don't know how to do any of it, I will show you, and I promise that I will show you. Okay, folks? So that's what you're going to need to do for your composition. That's how we're going to be doing it. So you've got 2 more shorter videos to watch. You've got one that talks about how to input notes on NoteFlight and how to use it. And you also have one that's showing you how to export it as a PDF. Then I want you to go to NoteFlight and I want you to do those steps and really try to compose your own rhythm. Okay? Do your best. Even if it's tough, even if it's a little bit challenging for you, try your best for it. Okay? Let's see if we can get 8 measures. I want to really see those, so try to export those to a PDF and send them to me in my email, and I would love to see your compositions. All right, folks? So let's get moving. Watch those next 2 videos, and let's get composing.